Hi everyone, today we are going to be doing some of these lovely flowers from Johanna Basford's 30 Days of Creativity. In her video this morning she coloured these two, so I will be doing those later alongside watching her video. I do enjoy doing that, actually trying to choose similar colours to her and having a go and just trying something to do it the way she does it, which is rather nice. So I have therefore chosen these different flowers to do. I chose this pair not because they're conveniently below the others, but because I like colouring these little circular things. They look a bit like berries. I just thought it would be fun. Now I've picked my Arteza pencils out. Now they don't always come to a really sharp point, and that is what I want for this flower. So I thought we would have a go anyway. I find them really nice for blending easily. If I make a bit of a mess when I'm trying to get my initial layers down, they can cover up all sorts. It's brilliant. So this is the Magenta. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Oh, sometimes I find that angle is better. Oh, I don't know, it's just not wanting to play, is it? I'm wondering if my light is a bit too far forward. Anyway, and we're going to start with these little circles. So I'm going to use the magenta near to where the bottom is. Now it's going to be a little bit darker down here because it's near to the leaves, and that would create some shadow. And it's also lower down on the actual flower. Is it a flower? I don't know. I'm going to take that colour a little bit up the sides and then just fade it up towards the tip. So as you can see, a little bit darker at the bottom. Oh gosh, my chair is so creaky. I'm going to do the same on all of them. Make them all the same colour. You needn't. You could do them all different colours, which might be fun and different. I have seen plants where they seem to have different colour blooms on the same stalk. I had no idea how it did it. I don't know how it was I assume it was artificially manipulated in some way. So I want a lighter colour for the top. Now this is magenta, which is a very dark pink, I always think, although sometimes it's sort of put in with the reds. So I think it's going to work well with a pink. Now this pink in the Arteza, it's really neon looking. It's quite hard. There you can see, pink macaron. It looks neon, but when it actually colours on the paper, it isn't as neon as I always thought it would be, which is a bit of a relief because I didn't know if I would use a neon. What I'm going to do is go over the top of the areas I've done already, layer it up more at the bottom and less towards the top, just in exactly the same way as we have. My aim is to try and cover up a fair bit of that white paper. Don't need to get completely obsessed by covering every bit. I know some people do. I think if you've used markers or pens, you're used to that thick coverage, and maybe even with pencils like Prismacolors that can do quite a thick coverage, but I don't get worried about it. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's quite simple, but I think it's quite cute. Now, the stem. Now, in a previous picture, I did a combo of colours which people liked, and I wasn't able to show them because I didn't video it, so I will do it now for you because it was with this set of pencils. So I used the moss green, which I will pop here for you. Whoops. Is that working? Is that showing up? And I used the moss green for the areas I wanted to be a bit darker. So for me, that's going to be here, at the bottom here. And trying hard to just do a tiny area. It's quite a bit tricky and my pencil wants to snap. It's because I'm pressing a little bit too hard. I need to be a bit more patient and just layer it up there and here. There we go. I think I'm going to not do the stem. I'm going to leave that for the other colour. Do the edges of these leaves. So what I'm doing is trying to layer it up a little bit where it's near to the stem, and then just reducing those layers by tapering it off the pressure as I go towards the tip. Let me do the same with each of these. Now I always do all my leaves or petals looking the same. That's not how they are in nature at all. If yours don't come out looking the same, that's brilliant. That's how nature intended. So don't get too worried about it. So the other colour is the Pear Green. This is my favourite green in the whole set. There we go. And hence it's getting a bit short already. I had this set fairly recently, and this Pear Green gets used loads. I do know though that Arteza, ooh, we've lost the end, sells open stock-ish. I say ish because you have to buy them in packs of 3. So I can buy a box of 3 Pear Green pencils, which is great news for the Pear Green, because I think I could easily get through 3 quite quickly, to be honest. I'm just going to give that a brush. I've got quite a lot of little bits going on there. Let's just remove them. There we go. So that's nice to know. What I'm trying to do with these rounded bits is do a bit more colour on the edges than in the middle. It's quite a small space and my tip of my pencil is broken off, so it's a little bit tricky. But now I'm going to do the stems. Now I will not stay in the lines. That might sound negative, but it's just truthful. But it's not negative because I don't mind. So we're just going to do the whole of that stem evenly. Then we're going to do these little leaves. There we go. Anyway, so you can get the boxes of 3. So I have put one on my wish list for now because I don't need it for a while, just to remind me that they're there and where I can get them from. And when I run out, I will go and buy some. This is off Amazon. You can buy them off Arteza's website too. So there's a few places to look. Now, this next plant I'm going to do in quite a different way, use some different colours. I think it'd be fun. I wasn't going to stick to a fixed colour palette. You could do all your flowers in similar colours or your leaves in similar colours. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do them a little bit different, just because I know that Johanna's up above here are different to how I've done these, so I'm going to vary it about a bit. So I think I'm going to do this in a purple. These this tufty bit I'm going to do in purple. I don't know why, it just looks to me like it wants to be purple. So I'm going to grab a really dark shade, just giving it a sharpness you may or may not be able to hear. This is the Amethyst Purple. Is it going to show up for you? Maybe. I hope that isn't blinding you. And I'm going to just do each of these little pieces. I'm not going to try and do anything fancy because they're very fine. I don't know if this is just going to look a bit like black because there's so many bits. Black, it's quite a thick black area. Might have been wiser to have done it light. Just going to brush off those bits. You can have a look and decide. Do you like? Do you not like? Okay. Now this bit on the outside, you could do it as petals as well, as sort of lighter coloured petals. I think we might do that because or else it's all going to be very green. What should we grab? This is pretty. No, this is the Lavender. It looks quite dark on the barrel, but it's actually not quite so dark as the one we've used, because if you look at the actual lead, it's quite light compared to the paint on the barrel. So it's always a tip, if you aren't sure, give them a scribble on a bit of rough paper. So what I'm going to try to do is do a darker application of colour here and lighter in the middle. So how I do that is I put more layers here. I'm going to do all of these at once, it's not going to hurt. And fade that a bit towards the middle. And then do more layers here and fade that down. We'll have to do the tips separately because they're not joined together. And move across. And across, hopefully you can see. And take a bit of colour up. Now if it's a bit too dark still in the middle, you can use your eraser, like that one I don't like very much. I'm going to grab my eraser. I'm just going to rub out on a bit of rough because it's a bit dirty. So this is my little Tombow Mono eraser. You've seen me use lots of times before. I'm just going to go in this section and erase just a little bit. Might go across the whole middle. Doesn't matter if you erase too much, you can draw it back. There we go, and I will sweep that away, sweep away the little bits, and come back to my lavender and just try again. I think doing the bottom all in one go was a mistake. I think dealing with each one separately is easier for me. You may not agree, we're all different. There, now I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave that there. For the stem, I like a bluey green. I've said this lots of times before. I think this is quite a bluey green. This is a jade green. It's really dark. It looks almost black. It's quite dark in here. I think the camera is adjusting quite well. I've got two lights on. I've got the main light on and my lamp. I always have my lamp on when I'm recording, but I've had to put the main light on as well, and that's what's causing these shadows, but hopefully it's okay for you. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of the jade at the top of here and under there, just a touch, and then a bit on part of the stem and on the bottom coming up. Then I think, and usually for me, I'm going to do it darker on the edges of the leaves, just to show you that I can do something a little bit different sometimes. It's also easier because that comes in from there, so it would be quite hard to work out where the transition would be. These look like oak leaves to me, so I can't speak today. Now this is Thursday's picture from Johanna, and this video will be reaching you on Sunday because I'm running behind. But when it comes to the weekend, I'm not going to be able to make any. So when Johanna does her Saturday and Sunday videos, I'm going to get even further behind because the family will be at home. I won't be able to do them. So I'm going to do some other 30 days videos with you. So if you are colouring along with me, you will have something that you can do, but it won't be the sort of naturally next picture. So I will be, so that we've got the palm one across the page. That probably won't come to you until Wednesday. So I may do some more flowers. I've got an idea actually from that sweets / puddings, cakes, the sort of coffee shop page. So there's that as well. Oh, one of my sons has sent me a message. Just got to check. Sorry. Okay. That's fine. Sorry, I should have stopped the video, but I've looked now. I'd worked out how to do something on our versions of Windows. Something annoying happens, and when we in the bottom right hand corner, I'll tell you because it might annoy you too, it tells you the weather, which is great. We like to see what the weather is. It's telling me it's mostly cloudy at the moment and that it's 9 degrees. And 9 degrees centigrade or Celsius for those in America. I think you do Fahrenheit. I don't understand Fahrenheit, but anyway. When you hover over that with your mouse, it brings up a pop-up with sort of news stories, and it's really irritating because you've just tucked your mouse away in the corner while you're working. This pops up in your face, and I don't want to see that. You know, so I have found a way of deactivating it. If you right click on it, there is a settings function, and you can deactivate it. And I just showed them how to do it. Now this green, I think this is too dark for this. The transition is too obvious. It hasn't blended in nicely, but that still isn't really dark enough for me. So I'm going to go back in with my jade green and just work those greens. Oh, which way is it there? Work those greens a little bit more. And I'll talk you through what I'm doing. So I'm going to go back over this bit at the end, make it as dark as I want to, and then just so I'm putting layers. You can see I'm going over and over here, and then less in here, and then just a little bit right to the edge, and hopefully that will help the transition of colour not look too obvious. You know, I don't want a line where the two colours meet. And again here. And then just take some of that colour all the way to the edge. I'm just having a look in the screen because it's easier to see. And anywhere where there's a line, just draw it out a bit. Just colour out from it a little bit, and it will help to blend it in. The same as this one. So I'm going to go in harder here, and then just take that colour all the way across. Just getting lighter by doing less layers as you go towards the centre. Oh, my mouth's getting dry. I made a cup of tea before I started recording, but it's a bit hot in a minute. So I've got some oat milk open at the moment, and I do like oat milk in tea. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have dairy, but and it's taken me a long time to enjoy a cup of tea without cow's milk. It's just the flavour isn't the same. But I find with oat milk it's palatable. With soya milk, no, cannot do it. But I have soy milk in coffee. I can do that, but I don't know, can't do it in tea. Okay, I am happy with those two. We haven't been terribly long. It's a bit shorter today, but I think that's fine. Sometimes we don't want to be going on forever. I think it's just fun, and I think those have come out pretty well. I'm getting more and more used to the Arteza because they're quite new to me. And as much as I like them and find they work, I think for backgrounds particularly well because they blend so nicely, I'm just getting used to using them and what colours look like and what goes together, and it's really good fun. So I feel very spoiled. Getting new sets of pencils is brilliant. So anyway, there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.